Hello again from Scouse Farm. A little side stroke rear garden update before the rain comes, because if I just scan you up there, you can see some very dark clouds of one description or another. So we're getting a bit of rain coming in a minute. You can see the wind's been at it again because we've got a drunken plant blowing over. Well, this is the Eryngium sea holly, a dwarf variety of sea holly, and the bees, when they are out, like to mess about on the end of these flowers. They're a little bit spiky, but they look lovely when they're blowing in the wind, as long as they don't fall over. And these are just lilies that I've potted and moved around. They'll pop back up next year, and then I'll put them all in one larger pot. I just wanted to collect them in one space because they were, some of them, in what is now a food growing area, which is all this side where the trees were. So there was a lot more flowers there, but I've dug them out. Strawberries are still going, you'll be pleased to hear. And like with all container strawberries, or even ones that you put in the ground in the right spot, new flowers are formed, and then that means you'll get later strawberries. And I think I picked one or two before. There's one left there, one or two left there. They might make it. And I think I've got one red one left hanging about there. There he is. I'm just going to give him a couple more days. Hope the slugs don't climb up and eat him. And then that'll be my last one of this batch until they start ripening. The thornless blackberries have ate most of the ones that have turned. And we've got one red one that will go black at some point soon. And just like the strawberries on this side, loads more new flowers, so we're going to get additional fruit on there. And I found in the sea holly bucket poking out what I think is a blueberry. So I think a blueberry seed or an actual blueberry or something has fell in and it's grown. I think it's blueberry. It looks to be like blueberry, but I'll just wait and see. I really do think it is one, so we'll see if it carries on growing, but I'll be delighted if it is, because I did move them out of pots and they did used to all sit here, so it is likely that a blueberries fell in that pot and might have seeded itself, which if it has happened, then what more do you want in life? Free fruit. So that will grow on to be a great provider for many years to come, and I'll see how it gets on over winter, and then I'll pot that up into a bigger container. From those who've watched other videos, you'll have heard me saying a long time ago there was a little sprig that I just stuck in a small pot, and it was called Syrian thyme, and I got it from a Syrian lady in Toxteth when I was walking about one day, and she just gave me some as like a herb to take home and use for cooking. But I had a little go to see if it would grow on, and look at this, I am made up with that, and it smells beautiful. Oh, so earthy. So that is brilliant that it's taken, and I've potted it up into this little decorative planter. So that'll just carry on, and then I might put it in a bigger container, or I might plant it in the ground. I'm not sure yet. More cuttings. We've got a few things. Another little strawberry there that may or may not live. A very small cutting off a rose is definitely taken, so it's sending out lots more new growth. Yet another strawberry. That one's all right. That's worked. And my amethyst lip salvia has definitely worked as well, because it's flowered. And there's a few more about to open now, wobbling around at the top. So yeah, good year. This one hasn't worked very well. Maybe it's because I put it in a too big a pot. But that's a lavender. It did go in a bit late, but I think I'm seeing new growth there, so we'll give it a fighting chance. And if it starts growing, I've got myself an actual container lavender in a terracotta pot, which is good. So moving along, that was in the side bed. I still don't know what it is, some sort of tree. I think a squirrel buried a nut, because it was a nut that opened and started popping up next to where my leeks were. So I just took it out, and it's grown on into that whatever it is, but I don't think it's enjoying itself because those top leaves are a different colour, the yellowing off, so I don't think it's very happy. So we'll just leave it and see what happens. And then again, another casualty of wind. We've got a lily in need of some Viagra because it's just flopped over and it's just dangling. I've put a little stick there just to try and stop it falling over completely, but it's all right. It's flowered anyway, so I'm not too fussed. And inside that pot, I must have, because they're there, I think I planted a few sweet peas and they've started to grow out now. You can see all this growth here. These are sweet peas. I think they're a red colour variety, so maybe later on, if we do actually get a summer, we'll see some flowers on that as well. And the delphinium is beautiful. That was a gift from, again, someone in Dingle this time, which is the next area of Liverpool to Toxteth, and he gave me a small plant to take away, and it's flourished in this container, the 30-litre potato container, and the flowers are gorgeous. Needs a bit of help with the canes and things because it's a bit flimsy, but it has flowered all summer and I'm really happy with it. And then for those who've watched me tips and tricks about using a pizza base to plant carrot seeds, there's the carrot seeds from that little experiment. So we've got a little bucket of carrots there as well. We've also got a bucket of mint. Look how vigorous this mint is, and that goes to show again from a previous video when I mentioned do not plant mint in the ground unless you want to be pulling it out for years, because it'll just spread really quick and take over. So where possible, unless you've got a massive farm like garden and you want to just plant mint and that's it, have at it. But if you want to keep it contained and controlled, keep it in a pot because it will take over. And more strawberries there, and there was nothing planted in these. I was going to put onions in them, but it's a bit late now, and a borage seed must have fell in because borage is grown. And another, this is a buddleia bush, a dwarf variety called buddleia tricolor, and it's got 3 different colour flowers. Doesn't look too good at the moment. It's only got 1 white flower there at the back, but I think one was red, that's dying off, and a purple one, but I think it'll regenerate a few more flowers at some point. Hopefully it does, because if not, I might just have to sacrifice that, give it to someone, because if it doesn't perform, I don't want to keep it around. And the last thing in this little corner I wanted to show you is a tomato I was going to give away because I had so many of them, but I've given most away. But this one, I just left it a bit too long and it's decided to grow up the wall. I've pinched off the top to stop any further growth. You can see there, I've pinched it off there, and we've got 1 truss left to form, but I've got fruit, so I'm just going to leave it. So we've got fruit there, looks quite healthy to me. Fat tomatoes, I think this is the Alicante variety, and the second truss have started to form the tomatoes as well, and the final one at the top, that's still flower, but it will start forming tomatoes very soon. But for me, I didn't want it to keep growing, so I've pinched off the top, took out the side shoots whenever I've seen them. You can see I left that one a bit late. Look how thick that one is, so I didn't even see that one again, and that's how quick they come up. You can see one there. I'm about to pinch it out now. There's another side shoot, so if left, that will continue to grow into a new plant, so make sure you get rid of them. And I'll just leave that in the pot and harvest the tomatoes when they're ripe. So again, don't worry about having very little space. If you want to grow tomatoes and you like to eat them, put them in a container. They're there. You can move them around to keep them in the sun as best you can, and you can water them very easily because they're all in the same place and it's all contained within a pot. Thank you very much for watching. As it's about to hammer down with rain, I'm going to get inside. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And thank you to the recent 3 subscribers, because I was stuck on 127 for quite a while, but overnight, or the last day and a half, I'm now up to 130 subscribers. So thank you very much for those who've subscribed. And Scouse Farm and his drunken flowers. We'll see you again soon.